and that is some kind of that. Hello, thank you for joining me for another rolling project plan update. So far I have already finished 18 products in this project, and I have 2 more empties for today's update. These are the 10 products that I'm currently working on now. And would you like to take a guess which products I finished? If your attention to detail is 10 out of 10, you might have noticed I switched the balm blush from this small one to this large one. And I decided to switch it because in the last update I said, because if this was the eyeshadow, I don't think I will be as intimidated. Then I had a second thought, and I realized they are actually the same size, this blush and the Balm Meet Matte eyeshadow. And of course from there, I just couldn't resist keeping this one to have it live in harmony with the rest of the eyeshadows in my single palette. So this is how this blush looked like right after the previous update. You can see on the edge of the blush is a little bit shattered. That is another reason why I wanted to make the switch, because this blush just keep on shattering and it's kind of really annoying. So I figured I would try to get this one out of my way first. And if you look at the size of this blush, it's gonna take me forever to try to finish using this up. It might be even borderline impossible before the best girl loses her patient. So I'm gonna change my goal from finishing this to a 200 time usage goal. Like, you know, I still wanna do a fair amount of damage to it. Anyways, this is how this blush looks like now, after 9 uses since the last update. I was mainly focusing on the right side of the blush, where the shadow edge is. You can see there's a little chip at the bottom right corner, and that just happened recently out of nowhere. Like, it's been living in this palette, and that just happened from me putting down this palette on my counter. It wasn't anything aggressive. That's why I'm focusing my usage on the shadow part, because I want to even it out, so maybe if it is a little bit more smooth, then it won't be shattering as much. I'm gonna let you know, because I'm sick, my energy level is a little bit low, so it's kind of like a relaxing version of Project Pan Update. So please bear with me. Let's move on from this. Now I'm going to show you the empties. Did you guess this? The backup primer. This is the 4th update for this product. Let me show you how this primer progressed throughout this project. I reached for this primer another 14 times since the last update. Shortly after the last update, the pump just finally gave in. After the last update, I reached for this product a total of 14 times. It was at the 5th use, the pump finally gave in. From there, I did use the tube to scrape out the product. I think I used it like that for another 7 times, and frankly at that point I was really tired of this product. I don't know why, I did it anyways. I scraped out the product and I put it in a jar. From there I used it for another 4 times, but I just couldn't keep up anymore, because I think that last little bit of product was the product that was stuck on the side of the bottle. Although the texture was still the same, it was still runny and liquidy. Something was not the same. The last couple of times when I worn it, it was peeling on me pretty badly. So I actually feel a little bit relieved to call this one done. I was just about to get so tired of it. The other empty is the lip butter from Revlon that I was so determined to finish from the last update. And yeah, I finally did it. It's an empty tube now. Let me show you how this lip butter progressed from the very beginning of this project to update 4. That's when I almost had this lip butter flattened out. And this is how this lip butter looks like from update 5 to the last update. Since the last update, I have reached for this lip butter 15 times, and this is how this lip butter looks like now, with the tube rolled up and rolled down. Well, you can see it's not really wiped clean, but it's time to let it go now. I fairly enjoyed this lip butter because of this project, and I'm really happy to have this lip butter used up to this point. Now let's move on to the rest of the product updates. I have made a mixture of heavy and light progress. The Makeup Forever Redness Correcting Primer. Yeah, finally said that right. This is the 4th update for this primer, and those are the tallies I made from the intro to the last update. Since the last update, I have reached for this primer 7 times. Yeah, and this is where the tally is at now. The tallies are pretty evenly spaced. If nothing goes wrong, this primer should be out in 2 to 3 updates. The MAC Bronzer and Highlighter Duo. This is the 5th round for this product. So this product has been in this project for quite a while, but I'm only going to show you how this product progressed from update 5, because I had a little bit messy situation with it. Anyways, this is how it looks like from update 5 to the last update. And you look at the difference of 7 usage for the bronzer and 10 uses for the highlighter. And since the last update, I have reached for the bronzer 5 times and the highlighter 6 times. And this is how it looks like now. For the bronzer, if you look at the center as well as the top right corner, you might be able to actually see the diva that I was talking about before. I use the center to bronze my face, and I typically use the top right corner when I use this on my eyes. I feel like I don't want to be too optimistic, but I really wouldn't be surprised at all if I hit pan on the bronzer by the next update. As for the highlighter, I think it made a great visual difference with just 6 uses. The edge here is where I was mainly focusing. What I do is I get a brush and I swipe just like that, and that edge went from rough, from how it shattered, to a smooth slope. And typically in the past updates, I usually reach for the highlighter more than 6 times, so that's giving me so much motivation to be able to finish this highlighter in this year. And that in the panning game is just so much to cheer for. Bite lipstick. Okay, this is the 5th update for this lipstick. I'm still loving it, although I would say this one took a little kind of break for the past couple weeks because I was hyper focusing on the balm blush. This is how this lipstick looks like from the roll-in to the last update. Since the last update, I have reached for this lipstick 6 times, which is a little bit less usage than my previous updates. I guess it's not odd that if you don't see a lot of usage there, but if I may direct your attention to look at the usage from the beginning to now, then you can see it looks pretty amazing. Like, it is a progress. We're gonna move on to the BOUCHE eyeshadow. Oh, this eyeshadow has been in this project for over a year now. This eyeshadow is repressed to this pan, but this is how this eyeshadow looked like from the intro and how it looked like from the 2nd update to the 3rd update. After the 3rd update, that's when I repressed this shadow to a single pan. And this is how it looks like after repressing. From there, for the 4th and 5th update, I basically did not touch this eyeshadow at all. I think I reached for this shadow a total of 4 times in a span of 3 months. And this is how this eyeshadow looked like from the previous update. Since then, I worn this shadow 5 times, and this is how this shadow looks like now. Well, the shadow size has had a pretty good shrink, and I have a feeling that this shadow might be gone by the next update. The reason is I think I might have just accidentally discovered another one of my favorite way to wear this shadow. The very last time I wore this shadow, I was in a rush, so I kind of created something in a rush. I put a light wash of this all over my eyelid, and I layered this golden yellow highlighter shade on top of it. It reminded me so much of the first shadow that I used up from this quad. Coincidentally, kind of like the color of my sweater. I love that color so much, and I think throughout the year I was trying to look for that identical shade. That's why I bought this orange blush. But this one obviously is much more opaque and it's much more vibrant. This is totally off topic. That shade is kind of in between of a orange and a champagne bronze. It's not like I was going crazy to look for it, but I was hoping to run into something like that. All this is to say that I'll be playing with the shadow for sure for the next couple weeks because it's just sparking so much excitement for me right now. I have 3 more products left to update, and they're all eyeshadows. Let's go with the Bobbi brown one first. This is the 3rd round for this cream shadow. This is how this cream shadow looked like from its roll-in to the last update. And this is the difference between 4 uses and 1 use. Since my last update, I have reached for this twice. That means by far I have used this shadow stick a total of 7 times, and this is how they look all together. I no longer think that I'll be able to finish this one in 20 uses, but it's gonna be done or almost done. I still really enjoy this. Absolutely glad that I wrote this into the project. Maybeline eyestudio gel shadow. This is the 2nd round for this shadow. Let me show you how this shadow looks like when I first wrote it in. Although for my last update, I think I only reached for this shadow once, so I didn't give you guys any update. And have reached for this shadow 2 times after the last update, and this is how this shadow looks like now. The difference we're looking at would be a total of 3 uses. The last item to update is the Sonia Kashuk brown eyeshadow. Okay, this is how I showed you guys how this shadow looked like when I wrote this shadow in. Although this is not how this shadow looked like when I wrote it in. By the time I wrote this shadow in, I already used this shadow 25 times from this point because I wanted to give you guys a bonus update. So this is how the shadow actually looked like when I wrote it in from the last update. Since I wrote it in from the last update, I have reached for this shadow another 10 times. Although I think I reached a little bit more than 10 times. But either way, 10 times or 15 times at most. And this is how this shadow looks like now. The pan size definitely expanded, but I think the real usage comes from evening out the shadow across the pan. I think that's quite a lot of progress for just 10 uses or 15 uses at most. I probably shouldn't be making predictions, but I think prediction is another fun part about Project Pan. So I'm gonna say another 6 rounds for me to use this shadow up and consider it then, and we'll see how I do. That is all the product update. Because I am rolling out 2 products, I'm gonna roll 2 products in. Up till this point, I feel like my Project Pan is mainly makeup focused, but I have a lot going on with my other project, finishing 24 products in 2024. That is an all makeup project, and I don't really want to cross them too much. After some struggling, I thought I should roll some skincare products in. I'm gonna roll in a mask. So this is how this mask looks like. It comes with 2 parts. In the first jar, it's hot pore cleaning, and the second jar is called cool pore tightening. What you're supposed to do is use the first part to open up and cleanse your pores, and then use the second part to kind of shrink them down. It's a cool concept, and I have had this for so long. Oh my god, my throat is killing me. What I'm trying to say is I have had this for so long. I'm just not that I guess to say inconsistent is understating how inconsistent I am. So I want to roll this one into this project because I know the Project Pan has certain magical effect to make me focus on it in a good way, and I want to use it up. This top part have only 7 uses and the bottom part have only 10 uses. Well, I don't use this all over my face, so it's gonna be more uses for me. Perhaps 20 uses at most. Another product I'm rolling in is a Revlon lipstick in the shade Pink in the Afternoon. This is a brand new too. Kind of brand new, I only used it twice. So my goal is not to use it up, but rather I want to reach for this 50 times in the project. I don't know how much usage 50 times would be. I think that's a good number to start without me getting too bored with the shade. Thank you for watching and bearing with me. Please let me know if you liked it and leave me a comment to share some of your thoughts with me. I love chatting with you. I want you to know that you're worthy and you're perfect just the way you are. And it's true. Oh, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I look forward to see you again. Bye bye.